Bonjour and welcome back to Paris Top Tips. If you've ever dreamed of tasting the most iconic French dishes in Paris, like a juicy entrecôte, a comforting Bœuf Bourguignon, or some perfectly cooked escargot, this video is for you. What you're about to watch is a special compilation. I've already featured each of these dishes and their restaurants in previous videos, but bringing them all together in one place will make things much easier for you. I've classified the 7 dishes in alphabetical order, and you'll find chapters in the video timeline, so you can jump straight to the ones you're most curious about, or just watch the whole thing and get really hungry. So, if you're planning your Paris food adventure, or just want to know what to try, this guide to 7 typically French dishes and the 7 best Parisian restaurants to enjoy them is the perfect starting point. Let's dig in. Do you know where to eat the best Blanquette de Veau in Paris?
Wait, what is Blanquette de Veau?
Let me tell you, you're in for a treat. It's a classic French dish, slow-cooked veal in a creamy white sauce with carrots, onions and mushrooms. Comforting, rich and absolutely delicious. And it's part of the 5 must-try French dishes I talked about in one of my recent videos. And for me personally, it's my péché mignon, my guilty pleasure. The best one in Paris? You'll find it right here at Le Petit Rétro. Let's check it out. Le Petit Rétro is nestled just beside Place Victor Hugo in the heart of the 16th arrondissement, a district that many tourists overlook. Primarily residential, this area boasts stunning architecture and a touch of Parisian elegance. Whenever you're in front of a classic Parisian bistro, always start by checking the menu. Then take a look at the ardoise, the chalkboard where you'll find the daily specials. The zinc bar, the patterned floor tiles, the crisp white tablecloths, there's no doubt about it, we're in a classic Parisian bistro. Indeed, the warm hum of conversation, the clinking of glasses, and the scent of rich sauces in the air. This is the timeless charm of a Parisian bistro. Bread and salted butter instantly served without even having to ask, a definitive plus. Soon the menus arrive and the chalkboard is placed right in front of us. Classic starters and traditional dishes, no thrills, just authentic French cuisine. But anyway, I'm here for the Blanquette. The wine list is impressively extensive, both for whites and reds. I know some of you enjoyed checking out all the options on the list, so I'll let it roll. For the rest of you, feel free to skip ahead a minute. Instead of a bottle, we opted for a pot, a half liter of white Sancerre. A great choice. It turned out to be absolutely delicious. My friend Pierre starter, a carpaccio de Saint-Jacques, scallop carpaccio. And I had the saumon gravlax, smoked salmon with dill, lemon cream and a fresh herb salad. Both starters were fresh and made for an excellent mise en bouche. Now I'm being served the dish this restaurant is famous for, the Blanquette de Veau. Will it live up to my expectations? Let's find out. Blanquette de Veau is traditionally served with white rice, perfect for soaking up the rich, creamy sauce. Sorry if it's a bit blurry, but this is how I love to finish my blanquette. Once all the meat is gone, I mix the rice into the remaining sauce. It's absolutely divine. Give a Parisian great food, a charming setting, and wonderful company over a good wine. What more could you ask for? The blanquette was absolutely excellent. The best I've ever had in Paris. And the portion was generous too, so no room for dessert today. Time to head out after a fantastic lunch. What do you think of the decor? So, how much did we pay? 70 euros per person. A bit on the pricier side for a Parisian bistro. But considering we're in an upscale arrondissement, which shows a premium wine, and the restaurant's reputation, it all adds up. Le Petit Rétro truly lived up to its reputation. The Blanquette de Veau was outstanding, the setting charming, and the experience thoroughly enjoyable. While the price is on the higher side for a bistro, the quality of the food, the ambience, and the excellent wine selection make it well worth it. If you're looking for a classic Parisian dish, executed to perfection in an authentic setting, this is the place to go. Would you give it a try? Let me know in the comments. Nestled just 20 meters from Métro Chalet, Vieux Comptoir epitomizes the essence of Parisian dining, a hidden treasure one would be eager to introduce to close friends. And today, I'm thrilled to introduce it to you, my growing audience of Paris enthusiasts on Paris Top Tips. For over 2 decades, this establishment, born from the passion of a bon vivant couple, has delighted gastronomes in the heart of Paris. To me, it stands as the perfect traditional Parisian bistro, a testament to culinary pleasure and timeless charm. Excellence without pretension, that's what a great bistro should aim at, and that's the guiding principle of my host tonight. In the kitchen, Chef Cyril Bourlois crafts dishes with devotion using the freshest seasonal ingredients, while in the dining room, Anne Bourlois takes care of guests with a warmth that feels like a personal invitation into her own home. It's a cozy ambience, reminiscent of an intimate gathering, albeit with the delightful buzz of a bustling bistro adding to its enchantment. The menu at Vieux Comptoir follows the rhythm of the seasons, offering an array of delectable dishes that reflects the natural cycle. When I went there end of April, I could indulge in truly French delights, such as a homemade sausage served with creamy aligot, a whole veal kidney with mustard cream, or a shoulder of lamb for two, paired with coconut beans. As for dessert, let me tell you the one I had was truly unparalleled, a masterpiece among Parisian restaurants. And, as befits a good bistro, the wine list is extensive, boasting over 100 references, including some prestigious selections. Yet, the true joy often lies in the simple pleasure of sharing delightful carafes of wine, be it white, rosé or red, with our cherished friends. This napkin, neatly tucked into a napkin ring, truly adds a touch of home to the dining experience. Undoubtedly, the ambience in the bistro is lively and bustling, yet it's a noise we quickly acclimate to, becoming an integral part of the venue's charm. And when the owner serves you with a smile, it elevates the entire experience. So let's talk about the experience. Don't you find this pâté en croûte with foie gras extremely appetizing? It's served with pickles that are so yummy, you'll find yourself reaching for them in a jar, again and again. Absolutely delightful. My friend took pan-fried razor clams with cherry tomatoes, garlic, chilies and smoked ham, and she said it was excellent too. Not much left, and it'll soon disappear. For main, she treated herself to the famous homemade sausage of Vieux Comptoir, crafted from a blend of pork and cheddar and served alongside delectable aligot, a flavorful combination of mashed potatoes and cheese. Served by the owner herself, I indulge in the Bœuf Bourguignon, a classic dish of tender beef stewed in burgundy red wine, complemented by a medley of mushrooms, pearl onions and savory bacon. And while it may seem unconventional to request grainy mustard alongside a dish already enhanced with wine sauce, don't hesitate to do so. The addition of mustard can work wonders, especially when paired with this kind of meat, tantalizing your taste buds with a delightful burst of flavor. Despite the burgundy wine-enriched sauce of my dish, I opted for a lighter red wine from the Loire, specifically a Mentu Salon, to accompany both of our meals. Yes, I know, my dessert doesn't seem appealing at first glance. Yet, even before I started tasting it, I knew it would be delicious. This organic rice pudding topped with salted butter caramel is absolutely divine, one of the best I've ever eaten in a Parisian restaurant. And the little fruit pastes that came with the bill too. Let's face it, the bill at Vieux Comptoir may be a bit higher compared to other Parisian bistros. However, it's the cost of impeccable, flavorful and soul-refreshing cuisine, along with the most charming service you'll find. So yes, my dear friends, I strongly recommend this restaurant. Tonight I plan to dine in the Marais, a neighborhood in Paris that is popular among tourists. Specifically, I'll be enjoying my meal at Bofinger, unquestionably one of the finest brasseries in Paris. Established in 1864, this celebrated Parisian institution traces its origins to Frédéric Bofinger, who inaugurated the brasserie that bears his name. At Bofinger, recognized as one of the most charming brasseries in Paris, the chef skillfully prepares the Alsatian specialties that have garnered the place its renowned status. The warm ambience is enhanced by an extraordinary Art Nouveau setting, featuring a spacious dining room adorned with a magnificent and expansive dome adorned with floral motifs. Of course, as in many excellent establishments in Paris, you can request an English menu at this venue. However, you'll note that the set meal menu is not featured on the main menu, but is instead presented on a small sheet of paper alongside it. Before delving into the culinary experience, a touch of history. Were you aware that this restaurant holds the distinction of being the pioneer in serving draft beer in Paris? This unique aspect is what earned it the designation of a brasserie, originally associated with places where beers are crafted. True to the tradition of the most esteemed brasserie, you'll find an abundance of exceptional and fresh seafood offerings at Bofinger. But if, like me, you have a penchant for sauerkraut, don't hesitate. It's hailed as one of the best in Paris at this brasserie. The roasted scallops are also to die for. While the dessert selection may not be extensive, as you'll witness at the conclusion of this meal, the offerings are undeniably excellent. For my starter, I opted for a truly traditional Alsatian delight, a Flammküche, a perfect choice to kickstart the meal. Meanwhile, my friend selected razor clams in a delightful parsley sauce. To complement our meal, we chose an exquisite Pinot Gris from Alsace. Behold, my serving of Bofinger's sauerkraut. Yes, all of this is exclusively for me. What a culinary challenge. For my friend, a roll sea bream bake-off with Gewürztraminer and smoked pork belly. Indeed, that culinary endeavor was truly invigorating. After the starters, it turned out to be a bit overwhelming for her, so I ventured solo in the realm of desserts. I just couldn't resist indulging in Bofinger's floating island, adorned with pecan nuts and salted butter caramel. The grand total for our meal amounted to €117. While slightly on the higher end for a brasserie, the generous portions of high-quality, delectable fare at Bofinger justify the expense. If you find yourself in Le Marais and seek an authentically delectable French dining experience, don't hesitate, give Bofinger a try. The Flammküche as a starter, followed by the Choucroute, were two perfect demonstrations of how just delicious Alsatian cuisine can be. As with most large brasseries, the noise level at Bofinger can get a bit high when it's full, but that shouldn't stop you from giving this excellent restaurant a try. I'm a meat lover. If you've seen my previous restaurant videos, you probably already knew that. When it comes to Entrecôte, or ribeye as it's called in English, many visitors in Paris have heard of Le Relais de l'Entrecôte. I actually reviewed this restaurant 18 months ago. But today, I want to show you a hidden gem in the 12th arrondissement, a small bistro called À l'Ami Pierre, which might just serve the best entrecôte and béarnaise sauce in the whole of Paris. So if you're craving juicy, perfectly cooked beef with a killer sauce, stick around. Tucked away on a quiet side street, just steps from the Le Dru-Rollin metro station, in this increasingly popular corner of the 12th arrondissement, À l'Ami Pierre is one of those classic Parisian bistros, complete with a zinc bar and a warm, jovial owner. Real Zinc counters like this one are becoming a rare species in Paris, so when you spot one, you know you're in a proper old-school bistro. The dining room is very narrow. It feels like they built the restaurant in a hallway, but that just means you're never far from the kitchen, or your neighbor's conversation. There's no wine list here. Just tell the owner or the waiter what you're in the mood for, and they'll come back with a bottle like it's a magic trick. It's personal, it's old school, but honestly, it works. And don't go looking for a paper menu either. Here, the friendly waiter brings over a slate, or ardoise as we say in French, with the day's menu handwritten on it. No English version, of course. So if your French is a little rusty, just smile, point, and trust the magic to happen. Nah, don't worry, the waiter will explain everything to you in English if you need. To give you an idea, here's a sample menu I found on the restaurant's website. Of course, it changes regularly depending on what's fresh and in season, but it should give you a good taste of what to expect. Roughly speaking, it's all the most classic dishes of the French repertoire. My friend Patricia and I went for different dishes, of course, so we each chose a different glass of wine. She went for a white wine to pair with a razor clam starter. As for me, I had a glass of Corbière, a bold red from the south of France, to go with my own starter, roasted bone marrow. A real French classic, but only if you're adventurous enough to give it a try. For her main course, Patricia went with a one-sided cooked salmon served with a piperade, which is a delicious Basque-style mix of peppers, tomatoes and onion. As for me, and let's be honest, it's the reason I came here, I had the 300-gram Entrecôte served with a rich béarnaise sauce and perfectly roasted baby potatoes. Exactly what I was dreaming of. The main difference between an Entrecôte, or ribeye, and a faux filet, or sirloin, is the fat content. There's more fat in an Entrecôte, and in my opinion, that's exactly what gives it a richer, better taste. This one was perfect, and the béarnaise sauce was an absolute killer. I finished my meal with a crème brûlée. It was the only slightly disappointing part, because while the custard itself was very good, the top was just a little too brûlé, or burnt for my taste. Before paying the bill, we were offered 2 glasses of Calvados, a strong apple brandy from Normandy. I was the only one brave enough to drink it. It's definitely a strong spirit. In total, we paid €92 for 3 glasses of wine, 2 starters, 2 mains and a dessert. Pretty much the going rate these days for a good Parisian bistro. So, to wrap it up, à la Pierre really delivers on the essentials. A super friendly atmosphere, tasty starters, and an absolutely excellent entrecôte. And a little bonus with that Calvados offered at the end. On the downside, the dining room is definitely a bit cramped. And the crème brûlée could have used a lighter touch with the torch. Overall, I'm giving à la Pierre a solid 15.6 out of 20. A great spot if you're craving a true Parisian bistro experience, especially if you're a meat lover like me. I have to admit it, I hesitated a bit before visiting l'Escargot Montorgueil. Worried it might be an overpriced tourist trap offering a cliched version of a French restaurant experience. There have been several times when I've visited a Parisian restaurant to film, only to decide afterward that it wasn't good enough to recommend on this channel. The last thing I'd want would be to mislead you, my dear viewers. Still, I decided to give it a chance, and here I am, in this legendary restaurant in the heart of the City of Light. And it turned out to be a delightful surprise, starting with the decor, which was much nicer and cozier than I had anticipated. My friend Patricia and I were warmly welcomed, and after ascending the charming little spiral staircase, we were seated at a lovely table upstairs. Of course, you'll have the option to get a menu in English. As you might have guessed from the restaurant's name, the specialty here is snails, and they are available in a variety of recipes. But if you've never tried escargot before, I highly recommend starting with the traditional recipe, featuring butter, parsley and garlic. Of course, the menu offers plenty of other starters to choose from, including frog legs. Perfect if you're feeling adventurous or a bit of a French wannabe. The main courses feature classic dishes from the French culinary repertoire. The same goes for the desserts: chocolate mousse, Paris-Brest, crème brûlée, all timeless French classics. Their fine wine selection includes a few high-end bottles with prices reaching up to 1,400 euros. But what's great here is that they offer a wide selection of affordable yet excellent wines available by the glass, pitcher or bottle. And we both stuck to just a glass of wine. A red Burgundy for me, the Chauray-les-Beaunes, and a white Loire Valley wine for her, the Pouilly Fumé. Guess what I had as a starter? Escargot, of course, prepared in the traditional recipe. Patricia opted for the Normandy scallops served Tartare style with black caviar from the south of France. Delicious, she said. As for me, you know I couldn't resist dipping the garlic parsley butter in. The special touch here is that the bread for this is a toasted brioche, quite a unique twist. Then she had the duck leg confit with salades potatoes, a classic dish from the southwest of France. And I treated myself to the beef fillet Rossini style, which means it's topped with pan-fried foie gras. A bit on the expensive side, thanks to the foie gras, but absolutely delicious for my taste buds. The beef was cooked rare, exactly to my liking. I'm usually a big fan of Burgundy wines, and this one was excellent. As I was full, I ended this wonderful meal with just 2 scoops of sorbet. The total price was a bit higher than what I usually spend, mainly because the beef rossini is a pricey dish to choose. But it was absolutely worth it. I came here with a bit of a preconceived notion that this restaurant might be a tourist trap. Boy, I was wrong. It's an excellent spot to visit when you're in Paris. Beautiful design, fantastic food, even if a bit pricey, and I forgot to mention, the service was absolutely perfect and incredibly friendly. One of the best experiences I've had since I started making these videos for you, amazing people. A few weeks ago, I took you on a quest for the best Blanquette de Veau in Paris. And before that, I shared 5 must-try French dishes, including one of my all-time favorites, raclette. Today, we're diving deeper into this cheesy delight as I take you to one of the best places in Paris to enjoy a truly indulgent raclette experience, le Chalet Savoyard. If you love melted cheese, cured meats, and a cozy alpine atmosphere, this is the spot for you. And me. Located near Place de la Bastille, in one of the city's most lively neighborhoods, it's easily accessible via Metro Line 8, with the nearest stop at Le Dru-Rollin. The restaurant is spacious with multiple rooms and offers a warm and inviting atmosphere in the evenings, even on weekdays. During winter, prime season for enjoying raclette or fondue, it's best to make a reservation, which can only be done by phone. The menu features authentic Savoy cuisine prepared with genuine local ingredients. A set menu is available, but if it includes a cheese fondue, raclette won't be part of the selection. That's because raclette specialties are only served for a minimum of 2 people. In summer, they offer delicious meat dishes like fondue bourguignon or Pierre, where you cook thin slices of assorted meats on a hot stone. A children's menu is also available for €13. And finally, you can choose from a variety of cheese fondue. The wine list features a selection of interesting Savoy wines, easily recognizable by the small red and white Savoy flag next to them. And Savoy beers too. Here's the grill where the half wheel of raclette cheese is placed to melt slowly. Raclette is typically served with a selection of cured meats, boiled potatoes and pickles. My friend Patricia and I both enjoyed a glass of white Chignin Bergeron, a wine from Savoie. The cheese is starting to melt, so it's time to scrape it down. I like to grind black pepper on my raclette cheese for an extra kick. I have to admit, being from the Savoie region, I wasn't sure if I'd find the best raclette in Paris. But I was wrong to doubt, as both the cheese and the cured meats were of exceptional quality here. The thing is, melted cheese plus cured meats plus potatoes is definitely not a diet recipe. We couldn't even finish the half wheel of cheese before we were completely full. There wasn't even any room left for dessert. Raclette for 2, plus 2 glasses of good Chignin Bergeron, the bill came to €77 for the 2 of us. In conclusion, le Chalet Savoyard offers a good raclette experience, complemented by excellent white wine and a lively atmosphere that perfectly matches the vibrant neighborhood. However, while the food and ambience are great, the decor could use some improvement, and the noise level can be a bit much at times. Still, if you're in the mood for a hearty meal and good vibes, this spot is definitely worth a visit.
In the shadows of Paris, some dishes are better left untouched.
But if you dare to try, in this video I'll show you where to get one of the very best steak tartare in Paris. Not long ago, I asked you here on YouTube what kind of Paris restaurant you'd like me to review next. Among the numerous replies, one viewer suggested Petit Zinc. That's why, on this sunny May day, I invited two of my friends to join me for lunch at Le Petit Zinc in the 14th arrondissement of Paris. Petit Zinc is just 500 meters from Mouton du Vernet station on Metro Line 4. While it was indeed a subscriber who introduced me to this restaurant, she's clearly not the only one who appreciates Petit Zinc. The bistro enjoys excellent rating on both TripAdvisor and Google. Looks like my friends have already arrived. Let's go join them. Wow. You could say the decor is a bit over the top, but it really captures the classic atmosphere of a Parisian bistro. There ain't many people inside, but then again, the weather is beautiful and most customers have chosen to sit outside. Except for my friends, of course. As soon as I showed up, Eric, the owner, a super friendly guy, put some delicious saucisson on the table and asked what we wanted to drink first. I just went with a pint of good draft beer. They offer some interesting lunch formulas with a plat du jour. On this Friday, the choices were a sea bass fillet or a beef hanger steak with pepper sauce. But there are plenty of other classic bistro dishes on the menu, and that's exactly what I went for. The wine list isn't very long, but what's great is that for 13 of the wines, you can choose between 4 different sizes, which is super practical. My friend Pierre went for the Raclette de Veau, shredded pork that's seasoned, slowly cooked in fat for several hours, and typically served cold with some bread. And I went for the œuf mayonnaise, which are served here with an excellent green salad drizzled with balsamic vinegar. Let me make a quick digression here. According to Wikipedia, steak tartare is a French dish made from raw ground beef. It's usually served with onions, capers, herbs like parsley or chives, salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and other seasonings such as mustard, Tabasco sauce, and even ketchup. Sometimes it's served unprepared, with all the ingredients laid out separately so you can mix your own tartare just the way you like it. Sometimes it's topped with a raw egg yolk. Sometimes the meat is ground using a machine, which gives it a kind of meat puree texture. But other times the chef will finely chop it by hand with a knife, creating larger chunks. This version is called steak tartare au couteau. You can also ask for a variation called aller-retour, which means back and forth, where the meat is lightly seared on both sides for just a few seconds. That one's for you if the sight of raw meat puts you off. But be warned, it's still completely raw on the inside. As you can tell, there's no one way to serve steak tartare in France. It really depends on the place and your own taste. Here, au Petit Zinc, the steak tartare is served raw, lightly seasoned, hand-cut au couteau, and best of all, no egg yolk, which I actually prefer. Pierre and I both went for the tartare, and we agreed it was easily one of the best we've ever had in Paris. The quality and flavor of the meat were outstanding, with the seasonings perfectly enhancing rather than overpowering the taste. As for my other friend Gérard, he chose the sea bass over ratatouille, which according to him was excellent too. It's one of life's simple pleasures, picking up a French fry with your fingers and dunking it into a really good mayo. For dessert, Gérard picked the chocolate mousse, and it looked seriously tempting. But I'd already made up my mind. I was going for the pear tart. Pierre, being very reasonable, just went for an espresso. All of the desserts looked absolutely delicious. Eric, the owner, that's him in the picture, made sure we didn't leave his bistro without a glass of Calvados, an apple brandy from Normandy. Altogether, the bill came to 118 euros for 3 starters, 3 mains, 2 desserts, 2 beers and 2 coffees. Not bad at all for such a solid Parisian bistro. It seems one Calvados didn't quite do the trick, so Eric generously brought us a second round with the bill. Au Petit Zinc may be a bit out of the way, but it's absolutely worth the detour. With its warm and friendly service, charming bistro decor, and one of the best steak tartare I've had in Paris, not to mention the Calvados generously offered not once but twice, it really delivers the full Parisian bistro experience. I'm giving it a solid 16 out of 20. That's it. 7 delicious French classics, each at a great spot in Paris. So, which one's calling your name for your next visit?